So next I'm going to invite up Nathan from Rogers Cybersecurity to introduce the next couple of people. Excellent. Thank you. Anita told me. I don't know if you're ready for it or not.
No worries. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you very much. How's everyone enjoying the morning so far? Yeah, so far so good? I think we've had a really awesome lineup of speakers so far. It's been really informative. We've heard about some really exciting projects. Now we're really excited to get into some really innovative projects that are actually entering the market right now. At Rogers Cybersecurity Catalyst, we do quite a bit of work to support innovative cybersecurity startups in building and growing their businesses to make sure that businesses starting in Ontario can become leaders in the industry, both in Canada but also abroad. One of the ways that we do that is through a program called Cyber Challenge. This program is run in partnership with the Canadian Cyber Threat Exchange, and it's funded by the Ontario government. And our objective with this program is to turn those Ontario companies into world leaders, and that starts here at home. So we are working with a variety of different cybersecurity startups that are industry leaders in the space that they're working in, and we help align them with different sectors that have immense need for cybersecurity technologies, including manufacturing, life sciences, automotive, and many others. Today we're really excited to showcase two of the companies that we've been working with that have been really breaking boundaries in the cybersecurity space and in the industries we're working with. The first one that I'm really excited to introduce is AutoAlign. So we'll be joined by Dan Adamson to get us started for today. And Dan's going to speak for a little bit, and then we'll have a chance to do some Q&A with him immediately after. So I hope all of you will prep your questions as he's talking so that we can really dig into AutoAlign and understand how they're changing the industry. Over to you, Dan.
Thank you. All right, thank you for having us here. And yeah, thank you to the Cyber Challenge folks who've been really helpful. It's a great program. Really quickly, this will be a repeat of hopefully some material that isn't a shock to anyone, but there's been a whole lot of pilots going on in AI. Hopefully you're aware of those. A lot of at the enterprise level, in industry, and a lot of those pilots fail. And part of it is they are experimental by nature and designed to potentially fail, but by fail I mean maybe you get some learnings out of them, but they might not get into production. And the top three reasons are generally around reliability, right? So you might get great examples in the 20% of the time, and that's brilliant, and you can show your boss and say, this is really cool. But the reality is, for something to be useful, you need more than just 20% of the time to work. 50% of the time it might be okay, but then there's this other side where often it's not up to par. And so you don't get the reliability there. Security is another top reason for failure. It's not well thought out, and definitely there's progress for AI on the edge, but often there are hurdles around compliance, safety of these systems, security. These are all top reasons for failure, and they shouldn't be for a few reasons. Probably you should think about them going ahead, into the pilots, right? But they're challenging problems and they're hard to fix. We launched and started to create this terminology of a supervisor. And we launched a product called Sidecar that sits on top of your systems and monitors and controls the traffic through, a little bit like a firewall, but it's more like a moderator, if you can think of that, where it can look at the inputs and the outputs, and you can define what fine-tuned safeguards or guardrails are there and how it would respond to each. So if there's a security issue, it might shut things down, the traffic. Reliability issue where it detects potential hallucinations or content that can't be referenced, it might go in and try to fix the problem itself. So it's like a good supervisor would be to an employee, where it provides a lot of potential to either go in and just edit your employee's report yourself, right, as a good supervisor, or you might go back to your employee and say, hey, please fix this, right? So it offers those types of capabilities, and it achieved best of sort of state-of-the-art results. This approach, we have independent evals that we did for security, for reliability and performance of the systems, for safety as well. And so we tried to benchmark these. These were published, and I'll share a link at the end. But the industry sort of took notice, which was nice. And NVIDIA approached us and actually integrated us into their NEMO framework, which is their enterprise framework for building these systems. And we're also partnered with KPMG, who actually stress tested this from a security perspective. I'm excited to now talk about a second problem that's relevant in this room. So basically, you can take that supervisor system, deploy it on any AI system that you're building, and have a compliant view of how it's performing, right? So that's the first step. Second is, a lot of the applications that you might be dealing with in this room are multimodal by nature. They are probably dealing with problems in the physical world. And you might have white-collared workers who are using ChatGPT happily, but there aren't many applications yet live for workers, line workers, front workers, field services workers that work with the physical world. And so we really focused in on the physical world here, and we just launched and came back from a big launch tour, a product called Visor, which is for frontline workers, for your workforce, to build AI-augmented workforces. And so it focuses in on the physical world nature of this. Think of it as ChatGPT, but for workers dealing with either technical challenges, right? They might be looking at a part for workers where safety and compliance is important, that they're following the right standard operating procedures. It works with different smart devices. It could be as simple as working with your phone, right? They can talk to it here, they could take pictures, they could do scanning, and often that's an approach. But it also works with smart glasses. We have different smart glass manufacturers we work with, so depending on your requirements, how visual things need to be, we have a variety of options that it works with. On the back end, it works with multimodal data. So you plug in your technical resources, you plug in your videos, you plug in videos of people doing things properly, for example, tutorials. You plug in your technical data sheets, which might contain diagrams and pictures and the rest of it, right? So you are feeding this system, and what you get is a very valuable in-context assistant for your workers, right? Or even your customers, right? So if you're building out complicated parts, or you're servicing, or they're servicing, this can get into, some formatting problems. This can get into to the hands of your customers. So here's an example with BASF where they have painters that they're supplying. And those painters have an array of problems, and when you shut down a line because they can't get paint to match or something's going funny and they have to fly out a technician there, nobody's happy, right? Or if you have to stop the repair of a car. And there's lots of reasons why this could go wrong. We're able to create this troubleshooting support system in context, right? This real-time assistant for those painters. And not only can it help them troubleshoot, it can also prevent issues. Say, hold on, you actually shouldn't be painting this yet because you haven't properly prepped this panel, right? So it can proactively help. And it's like a friendly assistant in the real world. We have another example where it's being used to scan rooms for damage. And this is a complicated process to create estimates. It's able to pick up on those damages and help the estimator to create these estimates in real time. It would normally take 15 working days, right? So again, helping do things, helping with process automation. I'll just go quickly because I know we're between lunch and, or I'm between lunch and don't want to do that to you. So, but this is great for technical troubleshooting in the real world. It's great for automated issue detection. It's great for compliance, right? So think of your, if there are procedures that have to be followed, it can track that those procedures are being done properly and alert when they're not. Think of this also for QA and QC processes at the end, right? Being able to verify. And instead of having them focus on checklists, actually following those checklists, and this can make sure that it's being done as a helpful assistant. And helping around safety, right? So all of these things, because it's taking in these feeds, it's able to help and prevent a lot of issues. So we're excited to showcase some of this. We have different versions running. Happy to talk over lunch with anyone around it, and hopefully it makes sense. But whether you're building AI systems, right, it's very possible to create that supervisor layer to help with reliability, or whether you are building or you want to build AI assistants for your workforce, where it's the physical world, that's now in the realm as well, building on that foundation of reliability and extending it to the physical world. So thank you very much.